Another hunter arrives. Though you move differently than the others. I can hear you in my outer chambers, testing each step, finding the quiet spots. Very careful. Most charge and ready for battle, weapons drawn, shouting challenges. But you're taking your time, studying the layout. I can smell quality steel and expensive leather. Professional grade equipment. You invest in your tools, which tells me you're here on contract. But you have manners about it. That's unusual. Most bounty hunters I've encountered were little better than brigands with official papers. Come now. No point in skulking about anymore. I know you're there. And you know I know. If you're going to kill me, at least have the courtesy to look me in the eye first. There we are. Don't be shy. Oh my. Well, aren't you impressive? I can see why they sent you instead of the usual ruffians. Your reputation precedes you, Hunter. Even to this desolate cave, word travels of someone who actually succeeds where others fail. Someone who thinks before they act. And here you are, the legendary hunter in the flesh. Though, you don't look as eager as I expected. Tell me, who's paying you to end my life? And don't give me some nonsense about protecting the innocent. We both know this is business. Ah, so you do speak. Good. I was beginning to wonder if they'd sent me a mute. A lord from the western provinces, I'd wager. That family has been eyeing these mountain passes for generations. Always looking for excuses to expand their territory. Let me guess the terms of your contract. Slay the beast, bring proof of the deed, claim your reward, and the grateful thanks of the people? I see that struck close to home. Probably promised you quite a sum, didn't they? More than your usual rate, I'd bet. They must want me dead very badly indeed. And what proof does your employer require? A scale? A claw? My head, perhaps? Do be specific. I'd hate for you to return empty-handed due to poor communication. You still haven't drawn your weapon. Strange behavior for someone here to kill me. Most have steel in hand by now, ready to strike the moment they see an opening. Studying the situation? How refreshingly honest. Most hunters lie about their intentions right up until they swing their blade. You're right to be cautious. The sum they offered must have been considerable. Enough to risk your life climbing these treacherous paths and facing a creature of the legend. But tell me, was it desperation that drove you to accept, or simple professional ambition? The chance to add Dragon Slayer to your reputation? I ask because I've seen many hunters over the years. Those driven by desperation carry themselves differently than those driven by greed or glory. They move with the weight of whatever they hope to purchase with blood money. And you carry that weight. What do you need the gold for? A debt that must be paid? A life that must be saved? Something worth risking everything for? I see. So it's personal then. Not just another contract. That explains the careful approach. When the stakes are high, even the best hunters think twice. Or perhaps you discovered something on your journey here that made the task less appealing than when you first accepted it. The villages you passed through, they spoke kindly of me, didn't they? The shepherds whose flocks I protect from mountain wolves, the travelers I guide safely through blizzards, the children who leave me little offerings of bread and flowers. I thought so. It's written all over your face. Hard to reconcile the stories with the contract, isn't it? You have more conscience than most in your profession. That's refreshing. Difficult to kill someone when everyone has nice things to say about them. When your target has a reputation for protecting instead of terrorizing. You see these chains that bind me? They're made of old magic, forged centuries ago. Not for decoration or intimidation. They're quite real, quite permanent. 300 years I've been bound to this place. Unable to leave. Unable to die naturally. Unable to touch the world I protect except through visitors like you. The binding was meant as punishment for the crime of loving too deeply, for choosing mortal companionship over the solitary life dragons are supposed to live. My crime? I fell in love with a human. Gave up my freedom to walk among your kind. Learned to take human form and dreamed of a life beyond hoarding gold and sleeping in caves. I wanted to understand your people, to be part of something larger than myself, to feel connected. But dragons who abandon their nature are seen as dangerous, aberrant, a threat to the natural order. The others bound me here to think upon my folly until I remembered my place. They expected me to rage and despair, to beg for forgiveness and promise to return to proper draconic behavior. Instead, I chose to protect these mountains and everyone who lives beneath them. If I must be imprisoned, at least my captivity serves some purpose. But that protection only extends so far. I cannot leave to stop armies from gathering, cannot prevent lords from hiring accomplished hunters to remove the obstacle to their expansion plans. Why don't I fight back? Because I cannot run. I cannot hide, and I have learned that violence only begets more violence. Each hunter I kill would only bring two more. Each act of aggression would only justify their fears about dragons. Better to hope that perhaps someone will see beyond the gold they were promised. You begin to understand now, don't you? Why your quarry never fights back against those who come to kill her? Why the great and terrible dragon sits calmly speaking with her would-be executioner. So tell me, Hunter, does knowing this make your job easier or harder? You're fighting with yourself. I can see it in how you hold your weapon, ready but reluctant. Someone depends on your success, don't they? The gold isn't for you alone. That's why you can't simply walk away, no matter what you've learned. A sick relative, perhaps? Medicine is costly, especially the kind that actually works. Or debts that will cost more than gold if left unpaid. The kind of creditors who take payment in more than coin. I see truth in your expression. You're not here by choice, but by necessity. That makes this encounter far more tragic than simple greed would. I don't judge you for accepting the contract. We all do what we must for the people we care about. Survival makes heroes and villains of us all, often in the same day. But perhaps there's another way. One that serves both our needs without requiring my death or your damnation. A scale shed naturally during my last molting. Claw sheets that grow and fall away like a snake's skin. Even blood, freely given if you require something more dramatic for your tale. Take what you need to satisfy your employer. Return with tales of a mighty battle, a fearsome beast slain after an epic struggle. Will it work? Your employer has never seen a living dragon, has he? He won't know the difference between battle-won trophies and freely given gifts. The blood alone will convince him of authenticity. Besides, who would question the great hunter's account? Your reputation speaks for itself. But I want something in return. Not gold, not service. Something I haven't had in 300 years. Come back to me. When the job is done, and the gold is spent, and whoever needs saving has been saved. Come back as yourself, not as a hunter. I mean friendship, companionship, someone to talk to who knows the truth about me. I know every secret path through these mountains, every hidden cave where you could find shelter during dangerous weather, every safe route between kingdoms, knowledge that could serve someone in your profession well. And you? You could tell me about the world out there, what people dream about now, what makes them laugh, how kingdoms have changed, what songs they sing, what stories they tell their children. It gets so quiet here, so empty. Some nights I forget what voices sound like, what laughter feels like. The sound of another soul sharing space with mine. Careful. The scale still holds my warmth. The claws are sharp enough to cut steel, so mind your fingers. So we have an agreement? My tokens for your promise to return? A fair trade. Proof of death for the gift of friendship? Go then. Tell your tale of the great battle. How the beast fought fiercely but fell to your superior skill. Collect your reward. Save whoever needs saving. And when you're ready, when the world grows too heavy and these mountains call to you, come back. I'll be here, waiting for someone who sees me as more than just a problem to be solved. The path is out behind you. Follow the tunnel toward the light, and may your journey be safe, Hunter. Until we meet again, friend.